Jerry Doyle Show.
Yesterday was one of those days in radio where you wish you had an extra hour, at least I do, because when we were wrapping up our discussion yesterday about the marketing of obesity and 800 separate groups that are vying for a slice of the obesity pie, and how I was explaining that you have to educate, manipulate, and ultimately medicate, when we went off the air, an announcement came from the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA had approved a new obesity drug, the very same drug that they had rejected less than 2 years ago. And it was as if right on cue, the drug was announced because of this perfect storm that has been leading up to the assumption that, well, you're powerless to do anything about obesity. It's not your fault because there aren't sidewalks in America. And when there's nothing left to do, the only thing to do is to head for the medicine cabinet. The marketing of obesity. Robert Scott Bell joining us on the program, homeopathic practitioner, nationally syndicated talk show host. He's been following this obesity crisis for a lot longer than I have, and he's joining us on the show. Robert, welcome back.
Hey, JD, it's good to be back with you. I tell you what, man, they are converting us all to rats in the maze based on what's happening here. And before they started messing with them, rats never were obese either.
I don't know if we really need to say much else, Robert, than that. They've made rats fat by trying to make us skinny.
Right. Yeah, they made it fat so they can see. Well, test the drug on them. See if we can get this drug to bind to the receptor sites on cells that control appetite, and then maybe we'll be successful at getting people not to be hungry all the time, neglecting the fact that most Americans that are obese are eating food that is so devoid of nutrients that they're starving themselves, and it's no wonder they can never not be hungry. But they're much too, educated to profit via patent medicine rather than actually be solution-oriented like we are to actually get them to get corrected and lose the weight via dietary shifts, and not the kind of thing where they just say, oh, well, you just got to eat better and exercise. I mean, there are very specific things that you got to know for them to make these statements. They know that people are doomed to failure because they've been indoctrinated not to understand a lick about nutrition, and so whatever they come out with, whether it be the food pyramids, the 4 food groups, or the myplate.gov, it's designed to confuse people and make them a rat in a maze.
Here's some of the statements, Robert, that I found amazing. University of Colorado professor Daniel Bessenson said with regard to this new drug, it's not what we would like, but we have almost no therapeutic options for obesity. Dr. William Shanahan Jr., the vice president of Arena, the drug maker, contended that the cancer effect was, quote, rat-specific and not likely meaningful in humans, and that the evidence mitigates human risk. Rat-specific. I'm smelling a rat here.
Oh, that's the reason, of course, they choose rats in these studies so that they can mimic as close as possible in the animal kingdom what they expect would happen in humans. And yet, in this case, it's an inconvenient truth that, it's causing rat cancer. But no, this time, that whole thing about rats and humans being, just throw that out. This time, it doesn't mean anything.
The new drug, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is lorcaserin, Lorcaserin. Now, the FDA analyst came out and said lorcaserin data from the clinical studies fell just short of the standards set by the agency to rule out an excess risk of valvular heart disease and cancer. But it was just short, so I guess just short is okay.
This is really, you're thinking back to all the people that remember fen, and Redux, and all the controversy around those FDA-approved pharmaceuticals creating heart valve damage. They admit in this very release here that the same mechanisms, this drug works on the same mechanisms. And this is where you get to the dangers of modern science, where they say, well, yes, we know it works on the same mechanism, but we expect a different outcome. I mean, wasn't there a definition of insanity somewhere in there?
Well, when you look at fen, the drugs that they say were harmful back in 1997, which is the fenfluramine and the dexfenfluramine, that caused the drug fen-phen to be taken off the market, pulled from the market because of heart valve disease. Those are two of the ingredients that are in this new wonder drug that's supposedly going to cure obesity that we are helpless to cure because of things that they quoted, like not enough sidewalks in America, so people don't have the ability to walk. But they guess they do have the ability to walk to the medicine cabinet to get the drug that they said was bad in 97, didn't approve in 2010, but now, all of a sudden, in 2012, it's the wonder drug for obesity in America.
Yeah, for anybody that thinks that you can fix the FDA, the only fix is to eliminate them, in my opinion, based on what we've seen over the years here, and allow for more of the free market, let's say the information, the free flow of information out there, so that the people who are genuinely obese and have severe problems here that have been unfortunately cut upon through, the gastric bypass surgeries, the stomach stapling things, these are extreme measures that they say when all else fails, but the all else fails is the fact that they didn't try everything. It's certainly they didn't try it in the nutritional realm because everything is geared toward invasive procedures or invasive patent medicine. So you can never find what you're not looking for, and they are not looking for a nutritional solution. They are only looking for a drug solution.
They want to make schools the focal point of this obesity education and create a food-friendly environment. We've got a lot of different compass points that are weighing in on this. The Institute of Medicine came out with that 478-page report that said obesity refutes the notion that obesity is largely the result of a lack of willpower on the part of individuals, and we have to have all these multiple strategies to make the U.S. environment less obesogenic. I was not familiar with the term obesogenic. Is that something new, or is that something that's been around but is just being recycled to try and rally people to the drug cause solution?
Well, if it had been used, it had been used so rarely as to sound very new, obesogenic. And, of course, it's much like idiopathic, the idea that we don't know what causes your disease, but we don't want to admit it, so we're calling your disease idiopathic. And we're talking about idiopathic obesity here because the doctors are too stupid to figure it out, at least the ones that are plugged into the whole drug everything that moves paradigm. And, of course, there's no solution in the medical realm for this if you're really trying to fix it. I mean, it's one thing to surgically alter somebody. It's another thing to, let's say, bind receptor sites to artificially make you not hungry, despite the fact that you don't have the minerals in there to function properly. And by eating less, you're going to get less of what you already don't have. So what we need to do is promote eating more, but eating more of what will actually replenish that which is missing in those people that are genuinely obese.
Let's do a little cause, action, and effect here. Robert Scott Bell with us on the program, homeopathic practitioner, talk show host. You can hear him Monday through Friday on naturalnews.com. Also, another day during the week, you can get news about his program at naturalnews.com and also at his website, robertscottbell.com. We're coming up on swimsuit season, Robert. Summer is right around the corner, and a lot of people are looking in the mirror and going, well, I could afford to shed a few pounds. Now, if I could take a pill and I could make that happen, why would I want to change what I do, what I eat, what I enjoy when I can take a pill? But let's assume people aren't buying into the notion of being an obesogenic person or obesogenic nation. Let's assume they're not going to buy the hype of Weight of the Nation, the 4-part miniseries on HBO that starts on Tuesday, which has been done in coordination with government agencies. What is it that people need to do when they're looking in the mirror to say, I don't like what I see, I don't want to take a pill, what can I do to slim down, to get healthier, to be more in control of my food present and my health future?
Well, dietitians' heads are going to explode the moment I tell you this, but the number one thing I would have everybody do that is obese is eat more fat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
The very thing that they frightened us irrationally to run from is the very thing we need to embrace. Now, of course, we've talked about this before, Jerry, the different kinds of fats that are out there. We don't want to embrace hydrogenated oils, trans fats, margarines, even these so-called vegetable oils that everybody thinks is so great. I can't stand hearing people talk about, oh, yes, well, I use canola oil. It's a vegetable. It's polyunsaturated. If you're using even safflower oil, these are supposedly good fats, yet they're so high in what they call the omega-6, and they have no tolerance for heat, so they actually become trans fats when you cook with them, as opposed to the saturated fats that we've all been frightened into believing is going to give us all a coronary heart attack, which is not true. So I would say one of the simplest things your listeners can do is grab a big vat of organic extra virgin, and I know that's not something you find in Las Vegas there, Jerry, but extra virgin.
I don't even know if we have one virgin in the
regular
no,
virgin.
just kidding. Come on now. Regular virgins.
The coconut oil. This is an amazing oil which can actually speed metabolism. It actually has some antibiotic, let me just say this right, antiseptic type effects as well. It can be utilized for a lot of healthful purposes. It can help with the thyroid for metabolism. But if you took a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on how big you are right now, before every meal or with every meal, it will satiate your appetite much more rapidly because we're starving for fat. All these people that are obese pretty much have all been told you must go on a low-fat diet. We now need to do the opposite, embrace ingestion of fat, good quality fat. If you do like going on a Paleolithic or primal diet, and I know a lot of people with extreme obesity losing weight by eating the things that they're supposed to not be able to eat, including steak, for instance. But these are range-fed animals, grass-fed animals, not intoxicated, not loaded with antibiotics or recombinant bovine growth hormone, for instance, from Monsanto, which is designed to fatten you up, as are the antibiotics that are designed to do is bring the cattle, the chicken, and everything else to market, fatten them up faster. And so we're getting all the antibiotic residues fattening us up. So even if you like meat, if you got to change the quality of what you're eating. But I'm telling you, we begin to embrace fat, the appropriate fats, we're going to start losing weight.
Interesting. Now, we were kind of joking through, so I want to make sure we get this down correctly. Saturated fats, organic extra virgin coconut oil?
Coconut oil is my favorite. If you like it, it's incredibly flavorful, but there are different brands out there. You might find one that you like better than others, but it has lauric acid, which is another benefit. But, I mean, the main thing is, remember that what signals your body to stop eating is a satiation, right? What they're trying to do is fool your receptor sites on the appetite cells. And you don't have to fool them. You can actually embrace the calorie-dense fats that are not going to actually add weight to you. In fact, it'll help you burn. It'll speed your metabolism, but it'll also cause you to be, let's say, less hungry. And you're going to be able to curb your appetite without a toxic drug that can give you heart valve damage or worse, the cancers that they said are associated with this new generation of fen-phen and redux in this lauric.
Saying, okay, I got to do something, bathing suit season's right around the corner, or I just want to get healthy. I'm tired of carrying this small child around with extra weight, or I want to drop 5 or 10 pounds. And you see people just go on these starvation diets, or they go on these, crazy diets. What's a reasonable amount of weight that someone could lose in a healthy approach to changing what it is they eat, taking control of their food present, looking towards a healthier future? What would people be looking at for a realistic weight reduction goal that they could accomplish?
Oh, man, it's a loaded question. It depends on the method and the rate you want to go. Let's say somebody went on an organic, raw vegetarian diet for even 2 weeks. I mean, you could lose upwards of 10% of where you are today in 2 weeks. I've seen it happen. I've seen it done safely, too, because you're actually putting nutrient-dense foods back into the body. We're not talking about true starvation like fasting, but you're literally now getting nutrient-dense foods in. It is lower on the caloric scale, but I also would urge you to increase your fats, as I said, the organic extra virgin coconut oil on a diet like that, and you'll find you'll alter your metabolism much quicker, and you'll do it in a safe way. So that's a pretty radical approach. Now, some would not be willing to do that, and they want to go on, hey, I like my animal protein. And if you start adopting, read up on the Paleolithic. Mark Sisson has written extensively on a Paleolithic primal approach. I'm not saying it's right for everybody. Some people do better on vegetarian diets, but some people don't. And I've seen people that were morbidly obese begin to lose weight, and they haven't necessarily cut the quantity of food, but they've changed the quality, and they've increased the fat. They've stopped being fat-phobic.
And just as one pill does not cure all, one diet does not help all, and this is something where people have to take control of their own health present and health future. One of the ways you can do that is listen to Robert's show, Robert Scott Bell. You can hear him live Monday through Friday on naturalnews.com, and you can get all of this information and a lot more at his website, robertscottbell.com. Thank you, Robert. Always appreciate it.
All right, Jerry. Thanks so much.
Take care. We'll do it. We'll do it again when I'm thinner and healthier. Stick with us. We'll wrap it up when we get back.
This is the Jerry Doyle Show.